team. Off we go on Sunday Night Football. And he's stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The Steeler offense ready to take the field for the first time. They are led by their quarterback, the future Hall of Famer, Aaron Rodgers.
There's not many guys, Mike, in NFL history that while their career is still ongoing, they already are considered a no-brainer finding themselves in camp one day. And this guy is certainly at the top of the list. Let's not forget, this is not some washed-up quarterback who can't let go of the past. He is still capable of playing at an all-pro level. And if he continues to do so, any team he's on is going to be a Super Bowl contender.
That ball flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Fortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. Could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up second down.
I know it fell for an incompletion, but pretty impressive. He was able to push that ball really far downfield as he was being hit. Really says a lot about the arm strength that this quarterback has.
And that ball led him too far, maybe too wide. Out of bounds, incomplete. That's Fryer, the intended receiver. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Just a little bit too much juice on that one, and you just can't throw the ball out of bounds. Give your receiver a chance to go up and compete for the ball, but when you miss that far wide, he's got no shot.
He's got Fryer open on the left side. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. Fourth down.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks. And now they got a fourth down decision to make.
And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The New England offense getting ready to go to work here. They'll be led by the man from North Carolina, 6'4", quarterback Drake May.
I always like studying quarterbacks in year two. I think rookie year, there can either be a lot of growth, right? There's the biggest ability to take that jump, but there's also some struggles you have to work through. In year two, a full offseason, really understanding the playbook. Things have kind of slowed down for you. I feel like year two is a really good indicator of what long-term success looks like for any young quarterback.
And this play's going nowhere. He is taken down behind the line of scrimmage on their first play of the game.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
Throwing on second down. May. He's got his man. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45. 20 yards on that pass play. First down, New England.
46-yard line.
This is a really nice job of just finding a hole in coverage, Mike. And I used to say, hey, when you're open, stay open. That's the art of route running versus zone coverage. And it's a friendly target for the quarterback in space, and they're able to convert.
Throwing on first and 10 is May. Oh, nice open field tackle there. He did not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain.
We call them safeties because they're usually the last line of defense, but not here. On this play, he's up there at the line of scrimmage attacking the offense, and he takes him down for a negative play.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Now again, here's May. Open man. That's the tight end, Hunter Henry. And he's going to be taken down at the 30-yard line. They get 25 on that connection. Good for a Patriots first down.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. And think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 11, and they'll move the chains with another first down. preparing for the shotgun. It's May. We'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up third down.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
Been a good drive, but they need to convert here on 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun. It's May. And that is incomplete. Contact occurred just as the ball was arriving. There are no flags. It's 4th down.
We're starting to see a lot of this on 3rd down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these 3rd down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball. And in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
That one is good. And the Patriots are out to an early 3-0 lead.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
So after the field goal to open up the scoring, the kicker's back out for this kickoff. On the return, it's Kenneth Gainwell. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive.
26-yard line.
They'll run. This is Jalen Warren. And he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. So we are through 1 here on Sunday Night Primetime. 3-0 is our score. And we're back to the Steel City after this. The Steelers with the football to begin the second quarter. They've got it 2nd down and 7. Rodgers to throw. To the left side and taken in by Smith. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short.
7 brings up 3rd and 1.
3rd and a yard. It's the quarterback with the sneak. And he's going to be brought down right on that yellow line. The official signal, he's got enough for the first down.
That's good for us Steelers.
I don't want to take anything away from the quarterback here, Mike. He did a nice job picking up that first down. But this play is won or lost by the big guys up front. They're the ones who need to get off the snap on time, get leverage on the defender, and create the space needed for the quarterback to pick up the first down.
This one, batted away. It's incomplete.
And their offensive struggles just continue to show up time after time here in this first half. It's going to be hard to sustain drives when you continue to put themselves in holes on these early downs like they did here.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. They send Freiermuth, the tight end, in motion. He gets this up close to the 40. And Robert Spillane throws him there.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball, and they bring him down for a short gain.
On 3rd down, Rodgers. He's got his tight end. That's Freiermuth. He's down inside the 40-yard line. 23 yards on that pass play. Good for a Steeler first down.
What a luxury that certain teams, when they have a guy like this, I mean, not only is he the big target, but then to have that size and speed to run away from these linebackers and do so much of his damage after the catch.
On 1st and 10, it's Warren. He'll be stopped after a pickup of about 3. Robert Spillane spills him in.
4-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
2 minutes remain in a 3-0 first half. We'll come back to the Steel City after this. It is 2nd and 6. From the gun, Rodgers. And the ball out of the reach of the receiver. Falls incomplete.
I can sit up here all day, Mike, and we can talk about the missed throw, but I think a lot of the credit has to go to the pass defense. Not only did they do a good job making it difficult for them to complete the pass, but I think they saved the touchdown along the way.
Got to get it to the 28, but now it's 3rd down. They'll set up the screen to Gainwell. Searching for some kind of seam to go forward. It's not there. They get him behind the line. 4th down coming up.
Well, when you call a screenplay, of course you're looking to catch the defense off guard and pick up a chunk play. Not thinking you're actually going to find yourself going backwards, but that's exactly the case here, and really nice job by the defense sniffing that one out.
Oswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will tie the game at 3 apiece.
And that's really well done here, Mike. I mean, everything's in rhythm. A good snap, a good hold, and a good kick ties this game.
So the field goal draws us even. It is now 3-3 as the kick's away. On the return, Travion Henderson. He'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. Patriots offense ready for their 2nd possession. They'll work in a tie game here in the 2nd quarter and get started with 1st and 10. Here's May. We'll get this out wide. Now the Patriots going to use their 1st timeout. And they'll get together prior to the 2nd down play.
7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 29-yard line.
Down here.
To throw is May. Look wide. Get this one complete. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9. New England going to take their 2nd timeout. And they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go until halftime.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39, they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is May. Oh, a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. It's a pass he didn't say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down. He was looking for Stephon Diggs there, and it'll bring up 2nd down. May to throw again. That complete to Henderson. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 8.
There's a lot of ways to get the ball in the hands of your running backs, and it's not always by just handing it to them. In this case, it's a simple check down, picks up a good gain, brings up 3rd down.
Now a 3rd and 2. To throw again is May. Man is Douglas. It's complete. That will stop it here. They'll use their 3rd and final timeout. Clock is stopped for 26 seconds until the break.
1st down.
Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
All right, so the ball falls incomplete, but I think what it does now, Mike, is it allows you to stop the clock, get in the huddle, take a deep breath, and now your play caller has to give you the best play. Go get points here before the half and try to build something going into halftime.
Here's May again. Back to the outside. He's got Diggs. And he's got about 5 on this one before he's out of bounds. And they're set up a little bit better for third down.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains. When you're willing to throw the ball short of the sticks on third down, you know what that tells me, Mike? The decision to go for it on fourth down has already been made. If you're able to pick it up with yards after the catch, great. But if not, it's a fourth and short, and you give yourself a realistic shot of converting on this fourth down.
A 43-yard attempt.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Packs get 3 here late in the first half to take the lead.
What a methodical drive to close this half out. I mean, let's not forget, Mike, they get the ball after the break as well, so they get back-to-back. They call it doubling up possessions. Last one in the first half, first one of the second half. It's a great opportunity to put some distance between you and the opponent.
Final moments of this first half, kicking with the lead now, as this one is in the air. And he will not attempt to return, so this will come out now to the 35-yard line.
35-yard line.
First down for Aaron. Right side and corralled by Wheeler. And now a timeout. 7 seconds left in this first half.
Brings up second and a yard at the 44-yard line.
Now it's 2nd and 1. The shotgun, it's A-Rod. That's caught. Right side, it's Ryerby.
That first down was huge for this offense. Now they can take a deep breath. Focus on trying to put a late scoring drive together before we hit the halftime break.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal. This would tie the NFL record, a 66-yard attempt. And as expected, this one's not going to get there. It's no good. Halftime coming up, and we'll take you down to Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the best in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. We'll see if adjustments at halftime change the course of this one. Likely to play a big role. Who's going to walk away with a W? First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Patriots offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. On play action, here's May. Pass caught right side by Henry. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
There's no more efficient play in the NFL like the play-action passing game. You can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice gain to his tight end.
On 2nd down, here's Henderson. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
But after that negative run, I think this changes the play call now on 3rd down. So this offensive line has to be a lot better on 1st and 2nd down to gain positive yards. Stay on track because you don't want to be in 3rd and pass too often in today's NFL.
Diggs on the reception. It's a gain of 10 yards. 1st down, New England.
A gain of 10 yards. That's good for a Patriots 1st down. It's a gain of 10. And a Patriot 1st down.
It just seems like whenever they need a big play on 3rd down, you can almost guarantee that he's someone they're going to try to get the ball to, and certainly easy to see why. Clutch play by everyone involved and keeps the offense on the field.
And this is too far out in front. That one's incomplete. Demario Douglas, the intended target. And it'll lead to a 2nd down.
I'll tell you what, Mike, with this guy's speed, he's not an easy target to overthrow. So that's one of those where they're telling this quarterback, throw it with everything you got. Just lay it out there. And more times than not, he's going to run under it. But in this case, just a little bit too much on it. He winds up overshooting his man. Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
On 3rd and 2, it's May. Over the middle and take it in. He's got it. They get 20 on the connection. Good for a Patriots 1st down.
The Patriots 1st down. 1st and 10.
Points have certainly been hard to come by in this one today, Mike, but it seems like this drive has been what they've been searching for. A little bit of rhythm, the ability to sustain. Now they got to finish. Now they got to capitalize on these 1st downs and go finish with 6.
It's the tight end Henry in motion. Off the play fake, here's May. He's found his receiver, Butte. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They got it inside the 15. Why not go back to it? That one good for 20 yards and a 1st down.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and that's exactly how they're able to pick up this big game. A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
May to the air once more. And he's going to be dropped. They can get to him back at the 15-yard line.
That last sack is exactly why defensive coaches preach over and over. Just play the next down. Just continue to make them snap the ball again. You're one big defensive play from changing everything about this drive, and what once looked like a promising drive, following that sack, looks a little bit different now.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Now the screen, taken in by Henderson. And he'll take this one in. Way beyond Henderson. Touchdown, New England.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. Two guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
Now Andres Borregales for the extra point. He's got it. The Patriots move out in front, 13-3. So following the touchdown, Borregales is to send this one away. Johnson now to return. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Very good field position to start as the return is past the 40. The Steelers offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. This one is complete to DK Metcalf. Oh, big hole left side. And he will go all the way. Chris Boswell on for the point after. It's up and good. And the Steelers are back within a field goal. The lead is 3. Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. This will be returned from the 6. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Patriots offense ready to see what they can do. They'll do so with 1st and 10. Throwing is May. And he won't get away. Good tackle there to get him down behind the line.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped. And that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
Throwing on 2nd down. May has completed to Douglas. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. This crowd into it now as we get to third down. Working out of the gun, it's May. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
I don't think this lead is insurmountable by any means, Mike, but they're going to have to find a way to take advantage of some of these possessions as they try to close this game out.
On fourth down, Bryce Beringer out to punt for New England. Back deep to receive is Calvin Austin. That's a nice job of making things more manageable for this offense as he takes it back beyond the 25-yard line. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. They'll start out first down and 10. From the gun, Rodgers. That's complete. Calvin Austin. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
And the Steelers.
That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late. Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
Here's Rodgers. That's going to be incomplete. Good work by the defender. Bodies his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force third down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense, because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
Third and short yardage, it's Rodgers. That'll be caught. It's Metcalf. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. Double as good there. They get the first down and save a timeout. Able to get loose after the catch for more yardage. That'll be a pickup, 21. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. They'll throw again. Here's Rodgers. And they'll get about half of what they needed to pick up the 5 and sets up second and 5.
It's a gain of 5.
You see so many teams wait till third down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on first down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screenplay still in the back of their head.
This drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up first and goal for his team.
Steelers. First down. First down and goal to go.
So, 2 minutes to play here in the second half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. Now, first and goal. They'll drop to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Thielen. And they'll get him down right around the 5-yard line.
Second and goal. At the 5-yard line.
Here now, second down and goal. Again, it's Rodgers. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. He might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a third down.
The game is there for the taking. They control their own destiny, but this brings up a really big third down here. But remember, they don't have to force it and push the ball past the sticks. Even if they come up short, they still have fourth down.
And he'll take it on in. And it's Gainwell. Touchdown, Steelers. Receivers available, uses the back out of the backfield that time, Greg, to take it to the end zone.
And when your running back, Mike, is a valid threat in the passing game, man, it just gives you so many options. And in this case, it was the running back that was the open target. He's able to put the pass on the money. Easy 6 points.
The score, Steelers 17, Patriots 13.
So now playing with the lead after that fourth quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. Now return coming from the 7. Yeah. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. Patriots offense and Drake May making their way back out. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes. Generally, one step ahead of the defense all game long. They'll come up for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's May. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play. And it's 2nd down.
Great job there defensively, separating the man from the ball. And this is the moments of the game where you need your best players to step up. This guy's showing what he's capable of doing in the game's critical moment.
May to throw on 2nd down. A throw behind his man, can't reel it back in. And that'll go down as an incompletion.
So after that last incompletion, this brings up a critical 3rd down. But remember, Mike, they don't have to get it all here in one play. They've got 3rd and 4th down. There's no punt, there's no kick. They've got to treat this like it's their final possession of the game, and they've got 2 downs to extend this drive.
He'll find his tight end, that's Henry. It'll be taken down, but it takes them across midfield down to the 40-yard line.
Patriots, 1st down. A gain of 27 on the play. 1st down, Patriots.
Plenty of time, plus 2 timeouts at their disposal. It's 1st and 10. Throw again is May. He finds Hollins on the ground. And he's out of bounds on the pass play, but that's good for 8 yards.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
They'll come up now for 2nd down. They'll stick to the ground. And he'll get the 1st down there. I'll pick it up of about 5 yards.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. 2nd and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the 1st down.
Throwing on 1st and 10. And that could be the dagger. It's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game.
If they lose this game, this is going to be one of those possessions that they're going to get on the bus thinking. I mean, you just can't let drives go to waste, especially at this stage of the game, Mike. I mean, now it's up to the defense. Can they go out there, bail the offense out, and close this game?
The Steelers offense ready to get back to work. And still 2 timeouts left for the defense, but no real need to use them. They're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. He'll start this on the ground with 1. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down. New England going to take their 2nd timeout. They'll stop it. Just over 40 seconds to go in this one.
The 28-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Once again, it's Warren. And he'll be taken down. We'll see if they want to use that final timeout or not. But things are pretty much spoken to.
Brings up 3rd.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the 1st down marker. And they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
It's going to be 3rd. They need 1. Rodgers will take a knee. And that should do it. So this one in the win column for the Steelers. They use a little home cooking here. They play a complete football game. And they send their fans home quite happy. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. The Steelers, winners, as we say so long from the confluence of the Three Rivers in Pittsburgh.
coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Rams. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Just about set for a start. Happy to have you with us, and we are underway here on Thursday Night Primetime. And a good effort on the return there. Gets it across the 30, up to the 33. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick throughout his career. He's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
First run now for Kyron Williams. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave him no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down at 7. Stafford now to throw. That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards there, a first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. No doubt about it, a really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
9 yards to go.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. He did his best to just get 4 onto that, but not enough. And now fourth down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Now listen, no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Through the middle of the field. Touchdown, Vikings! Touchdown, Aaron Jones, 56 yards. And the Vikings are on the board first on the road
scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
One after here coming up.
For the extra point.
He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Vikings 7.
I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6.
What's up? Yeah, one play. Yeah.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
We'll get this to the 24 and second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, and to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Williams. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
3rd and 4. Stafford. And he is caught. And he is going to have a Rams first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago. So a 3 and out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there. And they get the first down.
Check.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. Throwing is Stafford. This is Smith with the ground.
It's a gain of
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
To throw is Stafford. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Offense was moving a little bit out back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Now is 2nd and 10. Stafford throwing quickly, complete out wide. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Now Stafford. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Rams first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
That's another.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And some determined running errors. He'll make his way down to the 12-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. From down at the 12, it's first and 10. Here's Stafford. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams are an extra point away from drawing level. So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough.
I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys out there next time? Because he fought through all that extra attention, got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and threw it his way. What a big-time play right there, both by the quarterback trusting him and by him going up and getting it.
The extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Gets around him. And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
McCarthy operating from the gun. Open there's Jalen Naylor. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Vikings! Jalen Naylor, 73 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after we had seen the touchdown to tie the game.
I would say what we just saw there was a great amount of poise. Because typically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they'd been tied.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Makes the score Vikings.
They certainly made quick work of that. Ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see. Just one play resulting in the touchdown. Kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the Rams offense now making their way out to take over. For this This offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 in the bag. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant, keep throwing it around. You don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. Now Stafford. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time. It's going to lead to 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Stafford. Able to find the open man. It's complete. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Stafford. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field. A few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Looking to throw McCarthy. Pass complete to Naylor right side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Throwing is McCarthy. Now he's going to step up and run. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say they were caught off guard a little bit when they decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Now a handoff. Running left is Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Vikings would extend their lead here just before halftime. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right possession. No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score Vikings.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. Pass complete there to the core. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Shot before the break. Stafford. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And he floated one out there incomplete. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night prime time, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
On play action, now McCarthy. That one complete to Naylor. He goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Down is a gain of 6, and it's second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4 at their 49-yard line.
In motion comes the tight end left. Now McCarthy. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. So it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Third down from the gun, McCarthy. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 36. It's a nice third down conversion at even 20 yards.
First down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Aaron Jones credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left it no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. This is caught by Addison. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 15-yard line.
Gain of 19 yards.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They're really locked in on offense.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Addison hauls it in. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Addison. A loss of a yard on the play. And it's 3rd down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. 4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. To the air with McCarthy. He'll try and do this himself. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Extra point attempt to follow here. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Makes the score. Vikings.
That time a 9-play drive. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Away and off it goes. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the Rams offense getting the football back. and the Rams come up 1st and 10. Just shy of the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this run past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 36 yards on the play.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
And this is caught. He's got a touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the night. And the Rams have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 28-14.
28. Rams.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Inside give to Jones. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talking over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line. And that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Again, it's Jones. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
He's tackled at the 32-yard
Now
line.
the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second.
3rd down.
And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Third down and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 101 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better really as the night's going on.
Brandon, when the defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout.
It's a loss of a yard.
And as the 2 teams talking over on their respective sidelines. We'll take a break. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's McCarthy. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings.
Touchdown,
From
Minnesota.
13 yards out. And the Vikings have made it a 3-score game now here in the 4th. So that drive there, CD, a good response, and that might be the one that gets them to the finish line, a comfortable lead.
Yeah, and that's all about not letting the team back into a game because they just gave up a touchdown. It was back to a 2-score game, and anything can happen in that situation. But instead, they came through with a really terrific drive right there that ended in 6. So you like to slam the door on teams? In this case, they're trying to lock it as well.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after.
Extra point.
After, right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Rams, 14.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings move it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that. Charles's defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Back to throw, Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Stafford now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, LA.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Throwing is Stafford. That's into the hands of Parkinson, the tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Just past midfield.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Quick slant here to Smith. 7 catches for him now in this last one. A 1st down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Rams there on the move. They've got another 1st down.
I can put my defensive cap on right now. And I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They control this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast.
Touchdown, Rams! 25 yards for the touchdown. are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point forthcoming.
For the extra point.
And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Makes the
That
score
time a
Vikings
6-play
35.
drive. And the
Rams
result for the
21.
Rams, a touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have an onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Vikings offense had Aaron Jones headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 40-second mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice.
Yeah, really, I should probably sign a hit, boy, because I got all the hits, boy.
Well, things started off exciting. This one had a high-scoring first half, and nobody let their foot off the gas in the second half either, Charles. And, you know, for them, a really nice victory in a high-scoring output.
You're right about that, because so many times we'll see teams come out slow and take a while to get going, and points become a little bit harder to score near the end of games, as we know, because everyone tightens down. But no such issues in this game. The scoring started right away and held up at a steady clip the remainder of the game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Los Angeles.